I don't know what the hell I'm doing today. Welcome to the Eric St. Show podcast. I got half my ear on the radio right now because just an announcement that Free Beer is going to announce. They're going to make an announcement about St. Gaslight. And, the whole damn radio industry is kind of, that's an overstatement. For sure, people that listen to the show are interested in what's going on. So you might even be able to hear it slightly in the background. And as they get into it, I'm going to pot it up. Turn it up so we can hear it as it happens. For the story that is now 1 month since it all got started. Well, 1 month to the day is when things started to develop. And in that time, just to review, my former coworker, St. Gaslight, has vanished. Now, there's been a lot of talk about what actually happened and things like that. But no one really knows exactly. And I guess the Burn King made an announcement just seconds ago that he is going to offer up some clarity. He said, coming up around the room and an announcement about Joe, which will bring some clarity. Okay? So I am anxious to hear what's up with that. My gut tells me he won't be heard on the radio anymore. Now, if you're Greg going through this right now, I can just imagine his stomach is in knots. He's been down this road before, obviously. Not. Hang on a second.
Show 1-800-947-3979. Call or text. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com. That phone number, the Straight Talk hotline. Cutting your wireless bill in half feels good. Get 25 gigs of high-speed data for $45 a month. That's up to 50% less than the other guys. Straight Talk Wireless. We'll go around the room in a moment, but a lot of you have asked over the last several weeks where Joe has been. And we've told a lot of you that when we're allowed, we'll tell you. We're allowed. But still limited.
Turn the music
just down. As an FYI.
Dumbass.
Laws.
By the nature of the way things are.
Turn the rowdy party music down.
This is not something where you're going to get some junk drawer dumped out or anything like that. But here's a statement from Joe through his attorney. He writes, after a 20-year career in radio, Joe Gassman has decided to leave the Free Beer and Hot Wings show. Joe thanks Greg, Chris, Steve, and Kelly, the loyal listeners, and everyone who worked behind the scenes. He looks forward to following the show's success in the years to come. And Town Square Media wishes Joe well, also going forward.
What a crap.
Now,
what a crap
we had a lot
shit.
of good times. That is a fact.
Yeah.
But we still have to do this job. And we're still lucky to get to do this job.
This is just
and
like
so
when
I
they
present to you
fired
an
me.
awkward transition.
Oh, no, that's it.
I'm Free Beer, one of the hosts.
Fucking painful.
Nicely
how
done.
shitty is that?
Yeah. I'm Free Beer, one of the hosts. And I have a question for you. What do you, if you think back to when you, or the moments maybe before you learned about
I just want to let this soak in.
The mechanics of sex actually is. Before you knew.
Now he's got to go into, he's breaking down the mechanics of sex. Fucking terrible. Yeah, decided to wrap up the career. Quit while you're ahead. That's what we're doing here. I've just decided, I've been busy. I have had so much going on that I think I'm a little too busy. I think I'll end my career. And then, meanwhile, Greg's breaking down the mechanics of sex. Fuck. Now I'm joking, but there's no easy way to do that. And that is all, like I told you was going to happen. That is all you are ever going to hear about this. I will tell you this, that in almost 7 years ago, February of 2016, I was presented with, hey, if you read this, we'll give you $45,000. And in it, you are announcing that you are stepping away. Are you interested in that? And I said, fuck you. And it was identical to what we just heard. So that closes the book. There is nothing more to be said. God knows. God knows I'm not going to say anything more. Hoo-wee. So that is that. Wow. Some discussion about the prediction. Cole in Colorado Springs says, does your prediction count since he retired, not fired? I would say that, now I want to give myself credit because I did say that this year would be the end. So all I know is that that guy is no longer on the radio. Wow. All right. Chris says, I totally get the credit. Cole says he's going to count it. In case you're just getting into this show, Greg Freebeer just read a statement from St. Gaslight that said, after a 20-year career, I am done on the Free Beer and Hot Wings show. Well, I guess that is it. There's really nothing more to say. I wish I had something more to say. I am a little bit measured on this. Whatever. It's this should be no surprise to anyone. I know it's not a surprise to me. All right. Welcome in to the Eric Zane Show podcast. From the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio, where we do this show each and every day of the work week. Hey, let's see how you do a podcast. It's easy. Anybody can do it. There's always that. You can always just do a podcast, big guy. I mean, why not? This is easy. You would have no problem pulling this off day in, day out, 10, 11 hours of a bunch of doing the show, writing the show, producing the show, selling the show. You would have no issue. I imagine your first day on your podcast. You can call it St. Gaslights. And you could welcome to St. Gaslights. Punch in. Let's do the show. And then when you do the show, I could review it like Carl. We could you would do a show and then I would do another show for Patreon only of me listening to your show and how you do it. And we can talk about it. There you go. That would be, okay, fingers crossed that there is a Saint Gaslight podcast. Welcome to the Saint Gaslight podcast. And then I would review it and post it. Okay, you got to be thinking 2 steps ahead. I know you'd listen to that. I think we've got a winner. Amy says, no. His PTSD from Chicago gangs would prevent him from doing a podcast. I added the Chicago gangs. Rocky Bell Blowout writes, the Eric and Joe show. Not a chance. Ram says, does he have a dormer? I don't know what he has. Chris says he needs someone else to play off. He couldn't do it alone. Don't say that. You never know. Everybody said that about me. There's no way, Eric Zane, you can sit in a dormer above your garage. And some would say you still can't, Eric Zane. Gigantic news. Saint Gaslight has now left the building officially. A 2 or 3 word statement was just read by the Burn King himself in one of the most awkward moments in the history of radio. You heard it right here. Go back and listen to it. I've decided after a 20-year run that I'm going to step away. In case you missed it, Corey says I missed it. I actually played it on here. After a 20-year run, I have decided to step away. I am thankful for my time with the Free Beer and Hot Wings show. Sayonara! And then Greg said, okay, and now let's go on to the mechanics of sex. My God. Whew. That is the boldest of all of my predictions that have come true. And I was 100% right on this. I called it in January. All right. God, I wish I had more to talk about, but there's just not. And I guess that's kind of the mechanics of a statement like that. If you throw out the old, man, I have decided to step away. There's really nothing more to talk about. And the groundwork has been laid because I got smacked on the nose like a puppy with a newspaper. And actually, I'm kind of happy that happened. I'm appreciative of the nose smacking. Because had I not gotten smacked on the nose, I might be caught up in the moment and say things that could hurt your old pal Eric Zane. And we just can't have that. We just can't do that. All I can do is look back now on the 20-year career that was Joe. Now, I think that that's an overstatement. I don't think that's a 20-year career because he started with us in 2005. Okay? I believe 2005. It might have been because we started in June of 2004. Yeah, I think it would have been the following year. So 2005. And prior to that, he was an intern. And you can't count intern years. Those don't count with you sitting around hanging up the banner, and going to get breakfast for the old morning show. 2005, he came on to our show. Now, where Greg and Chris can't really go and park about Joe's long history on the radio. I can, and I will. It's a bummer to me how this worked out because when he showed up on the scene, he was about 21, 22. And the idea was we need a producer. but we had no money to hire a producer. The radio company was known as Regent at the time. They said, put him on as an intern. And so our attorney, our agent, Mike Novak, said, I got a guy for you. His name's Joey. Yeah? Yeah, he's Drew's nephew. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's a movie guy. He's a movie guy? Yeah, he knows everything there is to know about movies. By the way, I need questions for Dear Meathead. I've got 44 minutes till we bring him in at 9, and the show is not going as long today because I've got a hockey game at 11. So if you could, send a question. Subject line, Dear Meathead or something like that. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. I got nothing. And this is breaking news. So, you know how this is like when the celebrity dies, and then they do like a retrospective. So I will do an impromptu retrospective as best as I can without putting myself in some type of jeopardy. I don't think going back and, reviewing the good times, because they would do any harm. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. In case you're just getting here, the announcement was just made that Joe has stepped away, resigned, left the Freebear and Howling Show. Freebear just read an announcement from Joe saying, I am no longer part of the show. And that was it. It was short and sweet. And then they said, that said, we had some great times. And Howling's went, yeah. And then now let's move on to the mechanics of sex. And when they said that, every single member of the Town Square Media, Compass Media brass were sitting there listening carefully. You better read that shit exactly as we told you to read, motherfucker. And he did. He did well. He did what he's supposed to do. So we bring Joe in, and he's got to answer the phone and help us come up with things to talk about. And there were some bumps in the road. One of the things that Joe did was he had a tendency in his attempt to offer laugh support for whatever we were talking about was to make it sound forced. And he would go, ha, 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 and just like way overdoing it and not natural. And so we kind of had to have a couple conversations about that. Say, hey, only laugh if it's really funny. You don't have to force it. So that was kind of weird, but we figured it out. And then when he actually started to actually laugh normally, now I would say not everybody liked the laugh, but I loved it. I thought I laughed so fucking hard when that motherfucker would do that shit. And I couldn't help it. It was these were the moments that I was like, Jesus Christ, you are just perfect. And we knew, and then we sat down one day, and I remember where we were. He was doing some work in the production room, and Greg and I come in. We got an idea. We want to do these fucking stunts, and you spin the stupid wheel, and then the wheel has all these dumb stunts on it, and they progressively got worse and more ramped up until they finally put him into like great physical jeopardy. I was always like, Jesus Christ, you could probably sue somebody because of he was hurt. He was actually injured because of these moments. I know this. His knees were injured. His back was injured. He injured his what do you call it? Is it a septum? His nose? He was hurt. But he still did it with great trepidation. As you all know, he was just a little boy when he did a lot of these, according to that statement he made. But I didn't know much more about Joe. We were all kind of private. We kind of all went our separate ways. So when Joe left the radio station, I frankly didn't really know him. And I think we were all that way. Shit, when he came to town, he lived at my place for about a month until he found a place to live. And so he would sleep in this extra room we had, and I would go get him up. Hey, it's time to go to work. Let's go. So he'd get up, and my wife, we'd have dinner the night before, and she would take leftovers and put them in these little fucking Tupperwares. Here's your lunch, Joe. We'd feed the guy. He didn't have any fucking money. He's working for free. So he had to go get jobs to make ends meet. So he worked for the baseball team as the mascot, which led to the part of the lore of the guy. He was a mascot for the baseball team. He sold beer at the local short track, NASCAR track. It was Berlin. Joe's wearing a Berlin hat and a Berlin shirt, selling beer to people. That was fantastic. That all kind of, and then slowly but surely, he won his way onto the actual paid team and was earning money. And we had nothing but good times in those days. And how the fuck it all went south, I don't know. Again, smacked on the nose with the newspaper, resisting the urge to speculate and say things that could put your old pal Eric Zane in jeopardy. I don't want to do that. I do not want to do that. It will be interesting to see what that show does. Will they add a person? I've said this before. I don't think they need that. I thought the show was overpopulated to begin with. Part of the reason why I predicted that he would be gone, in my simple opinion, in January, was that you have two content drivers on the show, Kelly and Joe. And there is going to come a day when a decision is going to have to be made. And I will take credit that I was correct. Stevie late to the party. Hello. Uh-oh. Was there an announcement? Yes. A statement was read by Saint Gaslight, by Free Beer. And he said, I am announcing that after a 20-year radio career, I'm paraphrasing, I'm saying goodbye. And then that was it. There was nothing more to it. And then he gave the old, I will cherish my time with the Free Beer and Hot Wing show, and sayonara. That was it. And then Greg made a awkward transition into, let's talk about the mechanics of sex. Oh, my God. Holy shit. 1 month to the day since things started to become weird. I'll just put it that way. Things got weird 1 month ago today. All right. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. If you have any thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, or a question for Dad on Dear Meathead. This show is abbreviated today. Typically, I will go 2 hours, but, oh boy, busy as a bee with an 11 a.m. puck drop at Van Andel Arena. It is the annual matinee game, and so that's where that takes me. In fact, when it comes to Patreon, I may actually roll a audio file and turn the camera on just to maybe talk a little bit more about what has happened today. But I don't know when I'm going to do that because, no shit, here we are. We're getting down to crunch time with the wedding. Saturday is the wedding. So today, Diana is barking out orders. She's like, all right, today, this is the plan. You got to go do your hockey thing with the hockey boys. And then I need you to drop off this air mattress at Jackie's house. I guess there's going to be, I don't know, some sleepover at Jackie's house with the bridesmaids. Okay. That's where things get sexy. Oh, God, I can't even say that. Jesus, that's my daughter and her friends. Drop off the air mattress, and then you got to go across town, pick up a tuxedo for you and one for Jimmy Boy, my son. Get the tuxedos, and then you come home. And then you get this house ready because we're going to have visitors. You got it. You got it. And then, so she's starting to stress, too. She comes in here, she goes, oh, boy, I'm stressed. I go, what's up? Stressed because the weather might be bad. Pretty much like from now until like the end of April, May, we get snow every day until then. 6 months out of the year, every day we get snow. Yesterday, we got 5 inches of snow here. Now, you travel 15 miles to the east, and they get like a dusting. The further you go to the lakeshore, they're buried. They're buried on the lakeshore. They've got like 3 feet of snow. She's like, oh, my God, snow's coming. I go, yeah, snow comes every day. But people are flying in, and what are we going to do? I go, well, let me put this into perspective for you. You will lose if you try to fight Mother Nature. What's the old saying? Your arms are too short to box with God. There is literally nothing we can do about the weather other than play Stevie Ray Vaughan's Couldn't Stand the Weather. All right? If they can get here, they'll get here. If people don't, they won't. The sun will rise. Your daughter will be married. We will have a party. Everybody except me will get sloppy drunk, and that's it. Okay? I will dance to Butterfly Kisses with my lovely daughter. 18 years after we first danced to it at the father-daughter dance. What the hell? Butterfly kisses after nighttime prayers. Little white flowers all up in her hair. Oh, my God. The only thing I don't like about that song is that it uses the word daddy. And, you know, most kids stop using the word daddy. It's always dad. To me, it's extremely unnerving if an adult daughter refers to their dad as daddy. I think that's gross. And if that's you, you got to knock that shit off. I think Jacqueline stopped calling me dad and started calling me fuckface at like age 4. Whew. All right. Maureen says Eric will bawl his eyes out. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, you're right. I cannot. Oh, boy. It's like when? When will the bomb explode? Ryan says daddy is not appropriate from age 6 and up. I think from actually like age 4 and up, maybe 3. It's just that's something that porn stars say to whoever they're having sex with. Okay, so that's why you never wanna use that term. It's horrible. Kenny writes, why? What a crock. Daughters in the South kind of seem to always call their fathers daddy. Yeah, that's hideous. Do your kids call you daddy? Ugh. That's disgusting if that's the case, and you need to knock that shit off. Kenny says, or Chris says, or when a woman calls her man daddy in a sexy way, gross. No, I'm with you. We're all on the same page. There's only one twisted, disgusting member of the audience that prefers to be called daddy by his little girls and probably his son. Kenny says maybe that's a weirdo northern thing. And then Kyler writes, that's because people in the South fuck their family. Oh, no. And This person who's known as Kenny's Crush, maybe that's Amanda, writes, that's because they're inbred, Kenny. Oh, Kenny, you gotta tell your kids to stop that. You're being judged hard here. Daddy, they call you, hey, Daddy. Ugh. Kenny, that's bad. I love you, man, but that's a terrible, terrible I said maneuver. That's a terrible maneuver. Jesus. Corey says people in the South owned people. They aren't the beacon of social standards. That is horrible. If I ever see you again, like in person, and I'm sure I will, and your kids are there, and your son Derek says, hey, Daddy, I'm going to punch him in the stomach. We cannot have that. That's gross. Man. I'm disgusted that I even know that now. All right. I cannot wait to Black Friday. I'll be hanging out at the intersection with my pals from the band Waylon. And I want you to be there. Now, I have to be in two places at once because I got a hockey game and then I got to get over for the concert. I'm still trying to figure that out. I may leave after the second period. I don't know about that. I got to see how the hockey team is with that idea because, I don't know. So you might be on your own until I get there. I might be walking up right at the start of that show. But this is what I want you to do. If you're a fan of the band Waylon, and I know you are, go to sectionlive.com, buy your tickets, and then send me proof of purchase via email. Just do a little screenshot and send it along to me, eric@ericzaneshow.com. You are then in the running for the pre-show sound check, personal sound check party, along with meet and greet and photo op with the band. Black Friday, the intersection, Waylon. Buy tickets, sectionlive.com. They're just $15. How great is that? Send me proof of purchase, and you are in the running for that prize. More news and notes to talk about. The Great Food Giveaway. Number 3. We are doubling our efforts. We fed 100 families for the first 2 years. This year, we are trying to feed 200 families. Venmo, right there, at Eric, ERIC dash, my real last name, I know, ZEITUNIAN, links in the show notes, in the audio podcast. PayPal, at Eric Zane Show. We are up to $100. I'm getting the estimate right now from Josh at Meyer. We will need upwards of $3,000. We have over a month to get this done. So you'll be hearing a lot about this. I need to remind you, if we could all throw a little bit into the pile, we will crush this and hit it out of the park. We will purchase 200 Christmas hams. All of the cans of corn to go with that. All of the 200 bags of potatoes, 200 jars of gravy, 200 packages of King's Hawaiian rolls, 200 pumpkin pies. We will box them all up. Mike Ball will help us with his fantastic MB Distributing Little Debbie snack peddling trailer. We will head over to Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV on Thursday, the 22nd of December. And we will give it all away. Give it all away to people who will just pull up. They'll open up their trunk, put the food in. Boom. Kyler says he'll donate some Natty Lights and make it a real Thanksgiving meal. Fuck yes. You should buy 206 packs of Natty Light. So we open up the car, put the box of food in, 6 of Natty Light. See you later. Maureen wants edibles. She wants, okay, you all can do your edibles and smoke your pot and smoke your cigarettes and, whatever. Drink your beer. I will not. That is all happening on December 22nd. I have $100 that has been sent my way. When it's early on, they kind of trickle in. First person in on this was Amy, our very own runner girl. Person number 2 was, here's $50. My friend Maureen. I know I shouldn't be saying who gave what, but, they'll probably end up like, hey, you know what? Take more. We are in a little bit of a bind because we lost a percentage of the audience, which we have kind of built back up over time. But we did lose the Patriot Nicks, or I should say Lonely Nicks. We lost the Kates. We lost the Deans. We lost the Schaefers. We lost the Adam the Odds. We lost the Melanie. Is that her name? Melanie? What the fuck was her name? I think that was her name. We lost the Jessicas. We had a big break in the audience. They're all gone. We've moved on. So we all have to pick up the pace, and we will. Stalkerito, forgot about that. I wonder, is it weird in the Stalkerito thing with how Joe is, still part of the show, Joe Pellerito, but Mike is not? And do they get together and discuss me, or I've become politics to them, right? When they get together for Thanksgiving, they don't talk religion. They don't talk politics. They don't talk Eric Zane, I would guess. All right. If you're just getting in here, yes, we did play Freebeer's live announcement where he read the statement from Joe. I am stepping away. I am leaving the show after 20 years. It wasn't 20 years. It was, 05. So 17 years, right? With the show. Saint Gaslight has left the Free Beer and Hot Wings show. He has announced it. He's going. I'm going on to bigger and better things. I'm looking for. That's what you say when you announce a resignation. I am looking forward to the next challenge that comes my way. Please podcast. Please podcast. You should have, in this last month, been buying your podcasting equipment. And you should be podcasting this minute. Right now, you should be podcasting. Okay? Numerous comments that I don't agree with any of these comments. I don't get some of these comments. Those are hurtful and mean. I can't believe that you guys would say these terrible things that you're saying on the chat of Twitch. I don't understand where that's coming from. You shouldn't say that. It's ridiculous. All right. Where was I? Dear Meathead in 20 minutes. I've got Patreon. We're actually going to do Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia tomorrow. Trent and Dale. Dale said he was having sex when I called at 10:30 yesterday. And could not. And I said, well, that's priority. And then so I called at 10:30, and then I heard back from at 10:45. It's like, who can you have sex for that long? Jesus. All right. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. It is ad-free, powered by you, the audience. Thank you so much. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. $5 or $10 a month for 11 bonus shows a week on Patreon. My God. Hang on. Oh. You ever I haven't actually gone to a salon to get my hair cut in years. I've been cutting my own hair for a decade. But when the guy or the girl, they wash your hair, the way when they put pressure on your scalp and wash it, it's one of the most intensely relaxing things that you can experience. It's ridiculous, and you can't really mimic it with your own hands. Someone has to do it. Oh, my God. I just came to that conclusion a second ago. Don't ask me why my brain is going in these directions. It's the ADHD, and it happens. It's no fault of my own. It's chemicals, okay? Dear Meathead, in 18 minutes. Bosco's Pub in Hudsonville, Michigan. Go there, get a hamburger. They are the best in the business. Absolutely incredible. You will love the burgers at Bosco's. Part of Terra Square. The aforementioned Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. By the way, I forgot to kick you all out of here on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. I say goodbye now.